Today, we dive into a significant story that has gripped Nigeria and garnered international attention. The Nigerian police force has finally captured a man they have described as the most notorious and high-profile kidnapper in the country. This individual, whose criminal activities have plagued Nigeria for years, has now been brought to justice. Justice Hakemoshi of the Lagos High Court in Ika has handed down a life sentence to Chukwu, better known by his alias, Evans, along with his accomplice, Chuck Mickey. This means that Evans, once a symbol of terror, will now spend the rest of his days behind bars. Evans, a name that has instilled fear in countless Nigerians, earned the notorious nickname, the Billionaire Kidnapper, due to his outrageous ransom demands, which sometimes exceeded $1 million. His cunning and brutal kidnapping techniques allowed him to evade capture for years, despite being on the most wanted lists in the states of Anambra, Edo, and Lagos. His ability to avoid detection while orchestrating a large-scale criminal network has baffled authorities and terrified the public. The tale of Evans begins in the bustling town of Nei in Anambra State, Nigeria. Born into a modest family, he faced numerous challenges from an early age. His parents, Stephen and Shinu Onuamad, worked tirelessly to provide for their family. Evans grew up in a loving environment, attending Emmanuel Anglican Church Primary School in Amil Umami and later, Merchants of Light Secondary School in Oba. However, his education was cut short due to familial issues, which marked the beginning of a series of unfortunate events in his life. Evans's father, in a drastic turn of events, drove his mother away and remarried, leaving Evans in a precarious situation. The family's financial condition worsened after his mother's departure. In a bid to teach him a trade, Evans was sent to work for a spare parts dealer in Nei. This practice is common among young boys in Nigeria, intended to equip them with skills for the future. Unfortunately, after 5 years of service, Evans was accused of theft and dismissed without any compensation. This incident brought great shame to his family, and his father disowned him. With no other options, Evans moved in with his mother, who had always cautioned him against making poor choices in the city. Despite his mother's wise counsel, Evans eventually gravitated towards a darker path, gaining a negative reputation in the community. Seeking a fresh start, he decided to move to Lagos, a city known for its rapid growth and numerous economic opportunities. Initially, he planned to earn an honest living by selling diesel to luxury buses and truck drivers at a Lafia bus stop along the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. However, the numerous challenges he faced proved overwhelming, and he succumbed to the lure of quick money. Evans found shelter in a bus garage and subsequently joined his first robbery gang, which specialized in attacking luxury buses at night. His journey into the world of crime was gradual, shaped by the adversities he encountered and the rejection he experienced. Initially engaging in minor criminal activities, it was his involvement in kidnapping that propelled him to notoriety. Evans quickly became one of Nigeria's most feared and successful kidnappers, executing his operations with unparalleled sophistication and meticulous planning. Evans's modus operandi was intricate and well-coordinated. His criminal activities involved multiple gangs, each with specific roles to ensure the success of their operations. He was discerning in selecting gang members, often choosing those with particular skills beneficial to their criminal activities. Evans had control over as many as 7 gangs, each operating autonomously. This made it extremely challenging for authorities to monitor their activities, as the actions of one group were not easily linked to another. Before any kidnapping operation, thorough surveillance was conducted on potential targets. Selections were made based on financial and social status, ensuring that their loved ones could afford substantial ransoms. During the surveillance phase, the daily routines and movements of targets were meticulously observed, allowing the identification of ideal times and locations for abduction. The kidnappings themselves were executed with precision, with each gang member knowing their respective roles, whether it was capturing the victim, driving the escape vehicle, or managing communication. The kidnappers were cautious and discreet in their approach, using unmarked vehicles and frequently changing locations to avoid detection. Once a victim was taken, they were brought to a secure location, typically a rented apartment in secluded areas like Igando, Lagos, where they were held until ransom negotiations took place. Evans, the mastermind behind these operations, was notorious for demanding exorbitant ransoms, often in the millions of dollars. His willingness to keep victims captive for extended periods until his demands were met earned him the nickname Evans the Billionaire Kidnapper. To avoid leaving any traceable evidence, Evans used various means of communication to negotiate ransoms, such as unknown numbers and VPNs. The collection of ransom payments was planned with meticulous detail, often receiving payments in small amounts to minimize the risk of detection. Once the ransom was received, Evans had a plan to quickly leave the scene, often releasing the victim in a manner that allowed him and his gang sufficient time to evade law enforcement. Evans's systematic method of kidnapping enabled him to evade police detection and operate successfully for an extended period. However, one day, an operation did not go as planned. The incident involved an attempted kidnapping of Vincent Obiano, the esteemed CEO of Young Grow Motors, a renowned transportation firm operating throughout Nigeria. Mr. Obiano, a highly respected and prosperous individual, had worked tirelessly to establish his flourishing business. Unfortunately, his success also attracted the attention of unsavory characters, including Evans. Evans and his associates carefully observed Obiano's daily activities, the paths he took, and the safety measures he employed, aiming to find the perfect moment to strike. After weeks of careful analysis, they found their opportunity. On a typical day, as Obiano was driving through the bustling streets of Festac Town in Lagos, Evans and his team launched their attack. Armed and prepared for any resistance, they ambushed Obiano's vehicle, expecting a quick victory. However, their plan was thwarted by an unexpected turn of events. A police officer, unaware of the kidnapping attempt, had attached himself to Obiano's vehicle. As the officer intervened, a violent exchange of gunfire erupted, shattering the community's peaceful atmosphere. 3 of Evans's accomplices were fatally wounded and pronounced dead at the scene. Tragically, the brave officer, who heroically confronted the kidnappers, lost his life in the line of duty. His courage prevented the kidnapping and allowed Obiano to escape unharmed from Evans and his gang. Although this failed kidnapping attempt was a setback for Evans's operations, it did not mark the end of his unlawful activities. However, it did attract the attention of the Nigerian police force, which labeled him a wanted man and initiated a years-long manhunt. One of his many victims was Sylvanus Amono, who was abducted as part of Evans's high-profile crimes. Amono was taken to a hideout where he endured harsh conditions, experiencing a traumatic ordeal. Evans demanded an astounding $2 million for Amono's safe return, causing significant emotional and financial strain on his family. Despite the overwhelming task of raising such a large sum, the family persevered. After the ransom was paid, Amono was reunited with his family, marking a new beginning despite the trauma. In February 2017, a tragic incident shook Nigeria to its core. Donatus Dunu, the managing director of Maiduguri Pharmaceuticals Limited, was kidnapped by Evans's gang. This heinous act on Valentine's Day exposed the troubling reality of organized crime in the country. As Dunu left his workplace, he was attacked by Evans's armed gang and quickly overpowered. Taken to a secret location, he began a harrowing ordeal. During Dunu's captivity, his family endured immense distress. Evans demanded a ransom of 100 million naira, approximately 2. Following his arrest, Evans faced multiple charges, including kidnapping, armed robbery, and murder. Despite initially pleading not guilty, overwhelming evidence led to his conviction. On February 25, 2022, the Lagos State High Court sentenced Evans to 21 years and life imprisonment, bringing relief and closure to his victims and their families. The story of Evans is a stark reminder of the challenges faced by Nigeria in combating organized crime. The country, rich in resources and home to Africa's largest population, has seen democracy since 1999. However, the rise of kidnappings, drug trafficking, and other serious crimes has posed significant challenges. These criminal activities are often driven by poverty and unemployment, particularly among young people who see no other option but to join criminal organizations. Nigeria's strategic location and extensive transportation network have been exploited by criminal groups to carry out their operations. The vast and difficult-to-monitor borders facilitate the illegal transport of people and goods, exacerbating the problem. Additionally, corruption and a lack of jobs contribute to the country's struggle against organized crime. In this context, the story of Evans serves as both a cautionary tale and a testament to the resilience of law enforcement and the justice system. Despite the sophisticated operations and vast network Evans built, he was eventually brought to justice. This case highlights the importance of continuous efforts and international cooperation in fighting organized crime. As Nigeria continues to develop and address these challenges, the lessons learned from Evans's case will be crucial. Strengthening law enforcement, improving economic opportunities, and addressing corruption are essential steps in creating a safer environment for all Nigerians. I hope you find this information fascinating and informative. If you have a passion for crime stories and the pursuit of justice, subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. We delve into a variety of intriguing cases, from mysterious disappearances to high-profile investigations. Don't miss out on our in-depth analyses and stories that shed light on the darker aspects of society. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more compelling content.